Hello, everybody, and welcome to another podcast episode. I'm Carl Schultz, and this is going to be an excellent day because we're going to be talking about one question, and we're going to try to answer it the best that we can. And the question is, why do we try the impossible? Why do we try the impossible? I think a lot of people try the impossible because they're tired of the life that they're living. They don't want to be doing the same old thing and possibly working for someone or a boss that they hate, and they're just constantly having to put up with that and getting nowhere. There's a lot of pressure to please other people in that sense, and so I think people are trying to escape, and they're trying to find something that is going to be more fulfilling and ultimately bring them an income. There's a lot of historical people in the world that have, in fact, done some pretty remarkable things, and it makes you wonder what made them so great. For example, Armstrong, who landed on the moon, that's a pretty remarkable thing. Being able to leave planet Earth and do something bigger than himself and pretty much discovering the world from a different lens and just exploring and a pioneer, and it's pretty crazy. But what makes people go for the impossible? What drives them to want to be great? And I think the answer is satisfied. They're not satisfied with where they're at in life, and so they go and they try to learn new things and they try to be everything that they can be and try to recreate history or the social norms of what society is telling them to be. I can't believe how many people are pressured into going and working and going to school and trying to be what their parents told them to be, and it's just a lot of things that keep you busy. It's like busy work that makes you want to, pull your hair out because it's not creative. And I've seen what schools do to students and how it prepares them not necessarily for life after college. And it kind of, it makes me think that what are they going for professionally wise? They're going to work for somebody else. And I think there's a very few that are actually going to be their own entrepreneurs type stuff. And so it just puzzles me how they're not, all of them are prepared, their skills to communicate with people and just courage to start their own path and live their own life. And it's really something to see when someone can go to school and they can be an entrepreneur. Let's talk about the internet for a second. I think the internet changed a lot for a lot of people. The internet made it to where entrepreneurs can go and they can skyrocket into just amazing things. You could start your own blog and you can make money from it. You could incorporate a podcast. You could have a paid membership site. It's crazy how the internet just changed things. For me, for example, I can upload my music and I can share it with people. It's really cool. So the internet made it really easy for people to become entrepreneurs in virtually anywhere. They don't have to be stuck at the desk job anymore. So it's very interesting how things have changed a lot with the internet and entrepreneurialism and just in general, people being productive and creating their own stuff using something as simple as a laptop. So I think a lot of people aren't satisfied with where they're at, and I think a good way to make something in a full-time income for yourself is to start a website or something along the lines of that. After this quick commercial break, we'll go ahead and finish up with why people go for the impossible.
Social media nowadays has a lot of negativity, gossip, and distractions. For somebody who wants to be successful in life, it makes it difficult to stay focused on the right things. That's why they made EntrePro, the new social app with positivity, motivation, wisdom, money-making advice, and general insights to help build a successful life. The best part, it's free to download and use. Search for EntrePro on the App Store now. That's ENTREPRO. Available now on the App Store. Again, that's ENTREPRO. Connect today and enjoy a better life for the rest of your tomorrows.
All right, everybody, welcome back to Why People Go for the Impossible. A lot of people will tell you that you can't make money from the internet. You can't make money from a website and stuff like that. And that's because they're not thinking the way that you're thinking. You're thinking, I'm going to do the impossible. I'm going to make it happen. And you will, because a lot of people before you and I have made a lot of money online. People try to reach beyond themselves. They try to prove themselves wrong by going for the impossible, and proving people wrong can perhaps bring satisfaction and ultimately make you go even harder for that goal and make that dream a reality. By going for the impossible, it really just sets us apart from other people who aren't doing that particular thing. It makes them different, and we all want to be different and individualistic. So by going for the impossible, it shows people that we are different. We are different than you, and that we have a standard, and that, yeah, we all may be alike, but we also have to separate ourselves because the status quo isn't fair right now. It's not what we want. We're not satisfied. And so we go for the impossible and make things amazing, do amazing things, and people are just in awe, wondering how we did it and stuff like that. So setting yourself apart could be a very motivating factor, or just wanting to change the world, and going for the impossible could change the outcome of the planet or history. Just being a leader and not necessarily happy with the situation that the world is in, so people go for the impossible and they try to make something from out of nothing, prove people wrong type thing. I never really thought about it until now, but one of my biggest passions is buildings and architecture and stuff like that. And it makes me really wonder sometimes how these buildings get so big. Who pays for these? And to me, that is very motivating, because anytime I'm down in the dumps and I'm thinking, wow, what else is out there? I live in Vegas, so I get to see a lot of different buildings, a lot of new architecture coming in and out of the city. And one day they blow up the building, and the next minute it's a new one coming in. So it's really interesting to me how many people can afford that and build those buildings. And I would imagine that there's a lot of investors that do go into building those, so it's not just one person. Someone has the idea and they know how to get the money, and then the building goes up. But I wanted to talk about the building itself, because evolution of buildings has just gone taller and taller. The skyscrapers are just getting larger and larger, and so it's very interesting how people are doing that. They're setting themselves apart from how history used to be, and so that's really cool. That's really interesting, and architecture is just getting more and more amazing. And it was never like that in the old days. So it's me living here now in Vegas, looking at this stuff. It's really amazing. So I don't know whoever's going to listen to this in a time capsule way later on in life, but this I'm here to tell you that the time period that I lived in was amazing. Like, it was pretty cool. We weren't like flashing through lights and teleporting or anything crazy like that, but the architecture was beautiful here in Vegas, and it is beautiful here, and I can see how we've set ourselves apart from other countries, and we've really taken pride in our architecture and whatnot. So it's something really cool, and I'm proud to live here in Vegas because I get to witness all this stuff happen. So we're coming to the end of the podcast episode, and I just really wanted to thank you all. Thank you for listening, and I really appreciate it. I feel like I'm finally getting the hang of this podcasting thing, and things are really going well for me. I can't complain. I've followed my passion. This is what I'm going to do. I don't care if I don't make a whole lot of money at first. So I hope you stick with me to the very end, and let's make this remarkable. So I'll encourage you to go to my website, woolofficial.com, to subscribe to my paid membership, where you can get valuable information. So the posts will be in full version, you can pay for the full article. So again, go ahead and check me out on YouTube, see if you like anything on there. I have lots of videos. Until then, I'll see you guys later. Bye.